it's all easy water that's trickling around in that underground, uh, which is meant to be absolutely fantastic for you, obviously.
Yeah.
Energized water.
Uh-huh.
So it just remains to be seen. Really, we need the right scientists on the job, don't we? Not these bloody clowns who always send you on the wrong direction.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, and that's what I meant, Nick. It's probably been repurposed from its original intention of what it was built for to what it ended up being before it became to what it is now, which is just a monument. They possibly could have been used for multiple things, like you say,
I
electricity,
think so,
water,
and the
electricity,
technology seems to
water,
be.
cosmological, like working out the patterns and the formation of planet stars. It seems they were multi-purpose. They weren't just a one-hit wonder.
Absolutely. Yeah, I have to agree with that. Multi-purpose. Yeah, because if you
Mm.
got running water in there, and you gotta, if you don't have water, you're not going to live, but a week. So you got to have water,
Mm.
you got to have air, and the mixture of the oxygen or the air and the water with the combination of the pyramid probably created some kind of an electric effect. So they got electricity out of it too. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
Now you got a
yeah,
little power plant. Yeah, it just seems like the ancient ancients were geniuses. I mean, everything they did, like Velikovsky says that the Great Pyramid is built with the precision of a watch. It's pretty
yeah.
crazy. 2 million blocks? Who put that together? Just a dude? I don't think so. Must have had a
Oh, well, it would have
giant
been no.
brain.
It would have been. I think it would have been a combination of people, and it's evolved over time, and it's been a structure that the whole community or the whole country's got involved in, and they've developed national pride in doing them. You know,
Yeah. But,
like I always like Nick, and Nick would agree. I think I always like when you hear this person that says, "I'm self-made and I never needed anyone else to help me." Well, that's really a falsehood. Do you
I
agree, Nick?
mean, what I think is the way things are, where they started out really great and then they went downhill. That's indicative of someone maybe coming here with a lot of knowledge to start, and as they died off, things got poorer and poorer because knowledge was forgotten.
Yeah.
They got those buildings facing north with more precision than the greatest laser builder that can do today. That's pretty amazing.
It is, isn't it?
It makes a statement in itself.
Yeah.
They got the speed of light incorporated in it. The pyramid inch is can be
Human.
worked up to the 1 AU, the distance from the sun to the earth. I don't quite know what
Yep.
he meant by that, but it makes sense if it's about the pyramid. That's just all the stuff that's thrown in there is just crazy. It's
Yeah, I think
someone's,
so. And from
yeah,
what we can gather, it's the oldest one seem to be to be the highest technology.
yeah.
And like you say, as through the ages,
Hmm.
maybe as people tried to repair the structures, they kind of messed them up as they
But
more
they,
and more.
yeah, or they couldn't build as good, just
Yeah,
slowly degraded.
yeah.
Hmm.
And then maybe they were gradually, for the purpose was gradually forgotten. The
Hmm.
secrets of how they worked and everything was forgotten, and all of a sudden then they become tombs when uh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
uh,
yeah. Maybe we're the aliens. you know?
Yeah, that's what I often think. I often think that they weren't built just for tombs; they
No,
became
not two.
tombs
No.
because
I don't
whatever
see him
their
being
purpose
tombs
was,
like.
whatever their purpose. No,
Yeah, yeah. It was pretty interesting, though. I wonder how long do you think they've been around? 10,000 years
no,
or 20,000 years? Maybe more.
no.
Well,
Yeah, so I
Sam
think like
has he's talking 20,000 years.
Yeah.
Well, I think to the
Really?
actual structure, I saw a program the other night, and he says
Really? I've seen
30,000.
estimates of 43,000.
Right.
Wow. Might be more like that.
He reckons it was from the first work of the aliens who settled this planet.
Yeah.
Where's Greg gone?
Yeah. That's I mean, that's kind of what it says, that we came here and the first of us were geniuses, probably bigger brains, or maybe we were bigger, giants could be. I don't know. But if more worlds than one had people on it when all the shit was hitting the fan, there would have only been one planet to escape to with 3 different species, Who knows? The cone heads had to come from somewhere. You did?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
I
Scott
wanted to
decided.
get together, have a chat, I mean, we could talk about anything really, but I've been recording the stuff I got so far with the pyramids. Yeah. So what have you been into lately, Nick?
Well, I've been down to visit my mother
Yeah.
in Devon. She's been pretty gravely ill, really.
No.
She's 93, but I had a great time with her.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, I'm sorry.
Oh, it happens, my friend. She's fighting to. She wants another 3 or 4 years, and
Wow, that's pretty good.
she's determined. Yeah, she's a
Yeah.
fighter. Um,
That's
so whether she gets that, I don't know. But I had a great time with her anyway, and spent some quality time. And she's a very open-minded person, and she's intellectually very, very bright. And so I can spend hours and hours chatting to her, and she knows what I'm talking about, which is
yeah.
unusual for someone that age.
I wonder what the percentage of people that, yes, I do know. What are the percentage of people who make it into their 90s? I would think it'd be pretty low. Most
Yeah,
people
Yeah,
go in 80s, late 70s.
yeah.
yeah. I reckon it'd be less than 2%.
Yeah. I wonder
Well,
what the secret is. You know,
Luck of
think
the draw.
you think it's genetics?
Luck of the draw.
Luck of the draw, huh?
Luck of the draw. You're in the right spot at the right time, and you get the right soul, eh?
Yeah.
So you got the right energy mix.
Yeah. 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 It's a
Chris,
lot.
that sort of
I was I was talking to her, explaining to her about Atlantic theory, which she was very interested in. And this of course is the theory that um, the Homeric wars in Greece, the Trojan Wars, were actually fought um, in on the Atlantic coast, and there's these 4 or 5 different historians who've been supporting this theory for the last couple 100 years, and the more we look at Homer, the more we can see that he's not talking about the Mediterranean. And anyway, I was relating to this story is the story of Nevin. I can't remember his name now, but it's something Nam Nevin. I'll find out the name. But it's set in Devon. It's set about 10 miles away from where my mother lives, and it's these hills are called on Dartmoor. Uh, they're a massive, unbelievable unbelievable amounts of stone circles, stone artifacts, and things of that nature. And the Eralinda writings suggest that this settlement is antediluvian. So probably 10,000 years old. Now, Dartmoor is a very interesting place because it is it's covered in these stone artifacts, and B, it's one of the ancient places for tin mining. Tin mining didn't just happen in Cornwall; it happened up on Dartmoor as well, massively, there's an extensive ancient settlement there that hasn't really been really opened up yet or understood, but it's a massive bloody settlement. And this they think is the home of the original Noah, or the story of the original Noah, that he built the ark up there, and the story even tells you where the wood comes from and how the ark was built. It's a variant of the Noah story, but apparently from there anyway, when the wave hit, because this is probably 1,000 foot up the hillside now, and of course sea level's risen another 400 foot since then, so maybe 1,400 foot wave came and obliterated everything, and swept the ark. Now the ark didn't have any kind of power or steering system, and so it was just bobbing around on the earth, and it seems like it was swept down to Syria, or Turkey, where it landed on Mount Ararat.
It was like a submarine boat. I mean, it could just, didn't have to worry about capsizing. It was half underwater anyway.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
An enormous boat, 500
Yeah.
foot, 500 feet long by 100 feet wide, and 50 foot beam.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Yeah,
It's a
that's
pretty
pretty
big boat
crazy.
for back then.
Sure is. Yeah, it's more like a ship.
Well, totally.
Yeah.
And it describes what wood the thing's being built out of, and it's and all sorts of things. And how they didn't use nails; they used pegs, and all sorts and then the actual type of wood they used, and
See
then
what I mean?
how they made the pitch.
That would take a genius to do that. I'm telling you, man, those people were geniuses.
Yeah, and he was also a giant as well.
Yes. Okay. There you go. Yeah.
Um, according to the legend.
Hmm.
So there's a lot of stuff that's coming that's yielding out of this Atlantic theory,
Hey,
I'm attempting to put it all on maps at the moment.
let
Um,
me ask you a question. What do you think about the theory that a lot of our mountains were once trees that are petrified? I don't know why, but I'm intrigued by that theory because they look so much alike. I would think it would be completely possible to petrify trees, much in the same way fossils are made, electromagnetic discharge, lightning. They were giant trees. You ever heard that?
I have heard it. I
And
have
they've
heard
got a
it.
lot of pictures where they look just like trees. I
They
swear.
do look. They do look just like
Yeah,
trees.
you've seen them then, yeah.
But then you see the trees. The trees actually sort of mimic the energy structures coming out of the earth as well, don't they?
Yeah, well, yeah, definitely. The branches mimic lightning.
Yeah, they seem to.
Hmm.
So, and having seen those giant redwoods, I could actually believe that these enormous trees exist.
Hmm. Hmm. Yes, and it's just pretty crazy because I remember watching a chap with Thunderbolts. He's an Australian. His name isn't coming to me, Jupe, I think. And he's
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about how animals get petrified is struck by lightning. You know, they're petrified through electromagnetism. Just burying them right away, they would just rot like any other corpse. So there has to be something going on where they get struck by a thunderbolt and it instantly fossilizes them. With something like mega lightning, 10,000 times more powerful than earthly lightning. So why can't that be done to a tree? It would just be petrified. They do turn like stone.
well, they do with significant current getting run through it, don't they?
Yes.
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 So I mean, so that is certainly a possibility. I mean, in my book, and also if we have dinosaurs and giant animals,
Yeah.
you know, with low gravity, you would get more massive trees. But
Yes. Yeah. Everything was giant.
yeah,
You know, the vegetation, the trees, the people, the bugs, the
yeah,
birds, the whatever. Hmm.
yeah, agreed. Yeah,
Yeah, and then T Rex, they were pissed because they're like, everything was perfect except I've got these little worthless arms.
yeah,
Why did they
little
give me
dinky
these
arms.
little worthless arms, you bastard?
They were more like little toothpicks, weren't they?
I know, yeah,
More like little
yeah.
appendages.
It's just something completely unnecessary. And usually Mother Nature
Yeah, but
don't
we've still got animals around today like that.
like what?
Yeah,
Like a T Rex?
like T-Rex. Yeah, with the little tiny bitty arms.
Well, chickens, they have the same feet,
Mhm.
and they got even when they're embryos, they got little rows of teeth.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. So
and they say,
when
Kangaroos have pretty wonky little arms, don't
yep,
they?
yeah, kangaroos
yep.
do. That's right. Yeah, can they walk on it?
Oh, they can pull themselves along a bit. They can
Yeah,
use them to assist.
because they
Yeah.
sometimes have some gag where people are boxing a kangaroo.
Yeah, I think that's more about what it is.
Yeah, it's like a gag, right? Kangaroos can't
Yeah.
box. Uh,
Oh, I
you
wouldn't
want
say they could. What they do is, if you get them angry and you're close enough, they'll put their two front feet on your shoulders
oh,
and use that to lift themselves up, and then their back ones they just run straight down,
oh yeah,
and those claws just open things up.
that would be brutal.
So,
That's
so
that's
if
just
you get dogs,
yeah,
if dogs are attacking them,
yeah,
right? If they can, they'll try and entice the dog into water
yeah, yeah. And
because
then
then they're able
drown.
to.
Yeah.
Then they can drown it. Yep.
It
Yep.
reminds me of an ostrich. Ostriches got these claws.
Yeah.
A really crazy bird, no wings, but a big giant bird that walks around and their claws will open a person. They can just gut a person. Slice,
Emus
slice
are
them
the same.
up.
Ostrich, emu, they're the same. Emus are the same.
Hmm.
An emu,
Yeah.
we have them out here. Yeah, they can't fly, but they've got the remnants like that little front feet thing. Yeah, yeah.
Hmm. Yeah.
They're amazing too. Yep.
Yeah. The what they just saw that burned out inside of some of the there were explosions inside some of the pyramids. And Velikovsky, I think, hit that one right. He said it's from mega lightning. That's how electromagnetic the atmosphere was. It was just thunderbolts galore, man.
Yeah, really charged,
Yeah.
really charged.
Yeah, Andy Hall has a term for it. Barrier discharge. When he talks about his discharges.
Who's where?
Can't remember. It wasn't deification. Um, I haven't even. I've got it edit these still. I haven't even gotten to it. I've just been so damn busy and tired and sore and crazy. I'm trying to remember which one I have the Andy Hall one in. He makes a really good statement.
Info. The American Southwest is an ideal testing ground for the hypotheses of electric universe geology. Geological textbooks tell us that the hallmark, breathtaking features of these desert regions formed through slow, erosional processes over eons of time. But laboratory experiments with electrical discharges have opened new theoretical pathways that inquirers in increasing numbers around the world are following. A remarkable contributor to the burgeoning field of EU geology is Thunderbolt's colleague Andrew Hall, whose articles and video presentations have explored new electrical interpretations of desert geology.
Mega lightning bolts, just as far as you could see, and he showed a tabletop demonstration of it. But I know it's when it says that the Southwest was created by thunderbolts. That's what it is. So, what is the Atlantic theory?
Well, basically, Homer,
Yeah.
which is the first written down work of art that we've got in West and from the West. Of course, Homer's works firmly put in around Mount Olympus, being in Greece. Although there aren't any big mountains there. So this set of historians, one called Graves from about 1820, started it. So it's a relatively old theory. Started being able to locate the various places in the book on the Atlantic coast. And for example, you've got Agamemnon lived in Paris. You've got Achilles, who lived in the head of the Rhine, somewhere in Holland. You've got the Troy in the Gog Magog Hills in Cambridgeshire, England, and the battle happening around the fens of England, and you've got the travels of Odysseus home, which take him the really interesting one is to the land of the Lystragones, where he lost 9 ships and his shipmates were speared and eaten by the locals. Now,
when was this?
This is on his return journey from Troy to get back home to Ithaca, which is probably northern Portugal. But the Lystragones, interestingly, there's a lot of reason why these people were in Cuba, so there was what he's saying is there was a Western culture that was established and had lived in cities in Cuba. They were of Western origin. They were giants of Western origin, and we have some names for them, and we have some indications of the industries which they were using. And when you read this attack of the Lystragones on Odysseus, the port of Havana is an absolutely dead ringer description. The modern port of Havana, even, because it's got two promontories on headlands that used to be raised right above the water, and this is where the Lystragones smashed the ships up with rocks. And another interesting feature of Cuba is you get all these massive round spheres which they could have been used for throwing stuff out of catapults, which would have explained the ships getting smashed up. And if these Laestrygones were actually part of the society that was producing the copper from your neck of the woods, Greg,
Yeah. Yep.
they would have protected the location of these rivers, and they would have protected the identity of these places, and thereby killing all visitors.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Who were the people originally? Who were they?
well, this is what we're trying to find out. The Laestrygones,
Laestrygones.
the town was
Where is this at? Where is it located at?
Havana, Cuba.
Cuba. Okay, that's down there. Yeah. Okay. So the Palestinians were in Europe. So these must be different.
No. This is what the argument is. Because Havana is known, well, it was known, if it is Havana, that the city was known as Telepoulos, which means far off gate. It's saying it's a gateway. They've got the name of a couple of the people, but the city is called Telepoulos, which means far off gateway. And the it's actually, it's implicit in this information that they were Westerners who lived in Havana. They were originally Pelasgian, as were this is also Atlantic theory. It tells you all the names of the people who became the Sea Peoples, and then invaded the Mediterranean at about 1200 BC, and so it's a really fantastic piece of work to get to study, and it makes so much sense, because the whole work is a hidden geography of the time, and it's not hidden if you can read it, and so it throws a complete new light on Homer and where he came from, and for example, where the Pythagorean movement came from, and it's all looking like it came from either Britain or Belgium, to be kind to those.
Have you seen that thing on Ireland with Tessarian saying that a lot of stuff came from there?
Well,
The
it's certainly,
Aryans, the Arius. Get it? The
yeah,
Arius.
yeah. Well, they were certainly mining copper in Ireland about 500 years before they even found it in Wales. So yeah, so it's a far more ancient mining area. Been looking at the Bronze Age sites across the UK and where they occur, and there's that place in Ireland, in the southwest of Ireland. Like I said, they were mining copper there. I think 500 or 600 years before anywhere else in the world, by the look of it. I can show you this. Well, from the Atlantic theory, I can show you my website on that.
Yeah.
But have you got a website on that, Nick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you done your own website?
Oh no, it's not my own this, but I'm the information on here. There's pages and pages of it. I'm going to put it all on a map, all on good maps, because there's so much evidence coming out now to support this, to support these theories. It's fantastic. For example, I keep going on about this Auralinda book as well, and if it's authentic, it's the oldest book ever written. In this work, it's just loaded full of information. The document's proven to be about 1200 AD when it was finally compiled from much earlier works written in Coelbren. Well,
Yeah, I understand.
basically, I'll just talk about Odysseus' first voyage after the battle in Troy on the Gog Magog hills. That was set in Brittany.
You know, Nick, you say a lot of it's in Dutch.
Yeah.
Well, you got to remember they were sort of like king of the seas for many, for a massively long time. So it's
Well, of
quite
course.
possible that they came across a lot of this info, and
Well,
then they converted it and used it to their advantage.
well. Look at it. Look at it this way. The Greeks go on about Hellas all the time. Helland. You've got
Yeah,
there's a number of reasons. Achilles and his myrmidons. The myrmidons were the mermen. Well, so you've got the Achilles and his men, the myrmidons. Share screen.
Yep. And if it's got sound, you're going to want to share sound too.
I don't have sound.
Okay. All right. I'm seeing something.
Right. So this is Atlantic Hades, the page I'm on at the moment.
Okay.
I'll go to the Troy Gog Magog Hills.
Well, that'll do it for part one.